Alright, now, for my MSD setup, here's my 6AL, and there's a couple of things about it. First of all, this little guy here has a few wires you're going to have to cut in it, because what it does is it tells the box how many cylinders you're running on. And if you cut one wire, it tells the box you're running on 6-cylinder, and if you cut both wires under this cap, it'll tell the computer you're running on 4 cylinders. If you leave it alone, it'll make the computer think you're running on 8. Here's that little ignition retard box I told you about. Of course, I'm a crazy zip tie mechanic, and I hate bolting things down, so I just zip tied it on there. That'll change eventually, but for now, that's where that's at. Now, this thing will need switched power. Both boxes will. And what I've done is I've used the old 4AC harness over here, and I've grabbed some switch power out of this wire that comes across the top here, down below. I believe this went to the old something on the carburetor, but I don't remember what it was. Anyways, I've grabbed switched power out of there, and you can see that both my fuel pump and my 2 MSD boxes all get power from that. Now, this is really cheap, and it's going to change, but it works for now so I can get the car working. Now, this thing has a little green and purple wire coming out of it, and I've got that all run down along here and coming up to the little clip here. And here's the clip that comes out of the box. And then there's a second piece that comes out here to 2 little ends. What I did is I cut it and I soldered it right here on my distributor. You'll see this distributor normally has 2 wires coming out of it. I don't know if we can see too clearly what the wires I chose. Let's see here. I think it's the red and the red and white. Yeah, here we can see them here. You'll see I chose the red and white wire. And what these do is it'll send a signal 4 times per revolution down to my magnetic pickup and into my MSD to tell it that I need spark. Now the MSD has an orange and black wire that come over here to my, what do they call this thing? My blaster, ignition box thing. I can't even think of the name of this thing. I'm terrible with cars. Anyways, and this thing sends a spark into my distributor. And now what you're going to want to do is set your distributor to full lockout. In other words, fully advanced. Now, where that is, depending on if you have adjustable cam gears or not, is different places, and you'll have to figure out where it is on your own, but eventually you'll figure it out. And once it's there, when the engine's idling, the spark is delayed and the engine can idle properly. And when the engine's revving full, the spark becomes less delayed and you can run the engine at full bore. I think I covered it. That's my setup. Now, there's going to be a couple other setups you're going to want to go through, but for most part, this is the one I chose based on the fact that it only cost me about, it was $200, I believe, for the MSD, and, well, unfortunately, it was another $200 for the timing computer, so that was $400 in total, but it wasn't that steep because I spread it out over a couple of months. In the long run, that cost me a lot of money, and the Starlet, modifying the Starlet distributor to fit might be a little easier and cheaper. Unfortunately, I don't know, I do things in a really weird and backward way. Anyways, I hope this helps you, any of you who are trying to make a decision based on your carburetor build. If you got any questions, shoot me an email. My email is natesew@hotmail.com. Hope to see you all drifting.